Sky Squad, we are back in the building. We back in the building. Yeah, we back in this piece. Let me tell y'all something. I'm so glad to be back with y'all up in the good house today. You know we got a lot to talk about, right? A lot has gone down, so some of this will be a little bit of catch up. You know what I'm saying? And then some of this may be a little hot off the press, okay? We're going to be talking about your girl, Jen Shah. She's coming up first. We got this scoop on what's going on with her and filming for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We also got some extra added tea, okay, that we need to talk about with your girl, LaToya Ali and her ex, Adam, okay? Some things is going down with that, okay? Then we got to talk about your girl, OG, okay? OG is doing some more exposerization of the Basketball Wives Collective. And then we got to talk about the major shade coming from Kenya Moore and Netflix to your girl, Nene Leakes. Now, I don't know why they still got to do Nene Leakes like this. Why they still got to do Nene Leakes like this? The lady is off and living her bestest life, and they are still using her name and getting that fame off of it, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Marcella, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. She says, hit that like button. Congratulations, Richie. Thank you so much, Marcella. Yes, y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from in the chatterization. Angela, thank you for the super chat. Says, congratulations, Mary Man. Thanks for brightening my day. Amen, amen, amen. Who we got in the building? We got Shreveport in the building. Trinidad up in the building, Memphis in the building, Ohio is here for it, okay? Who else we got? The DMV, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Jacksonville, Florida, okay? We got Durban, South Africa, Montreal up in the place, South Carolina, ATL, Toronto, Montgomery, Alabama, St. Louis, DC, UK in the building, okay? Dover, Delaware, Miami, Florida, Oklahoma. Y'all, thank you so much for all of your love. I appreciate you. Now, listen, I gotta go. I gotta open up one more screen over here. And then we're gonna get into what we got to talk about today. Okay. Where to begin? Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and start with your girl, Jen Shah, real quick, while we let some more of our people get up in this good building. Okay. So let's get on into it. Jen Shah from the Real Housewives of that good Salt Lake City. You guys know last week, she had her arrest and her arraignment for the fraud or whatever, where they tried to do the arraignment. And now we know that there will be a follow-up court date all the way in October. Now, by the time October get here, the new season will be ready to start. Okay, so we got a lot that they can actually do betwixt then and now. But what I want to let y'all know is this. Thanks to our friends over at Bravo, Ducking Bravo, one of my other fave accounts on Instagram. This is what they have to say, okay? Bravo will continue to film Jen Shah's legal drama after her fraud arrest. Now, okay, we know this is the second season. We know that there was a really big push to go ahead and continue these stories because the network really, really liked what Salt Lake City was giving. And apparently the audience did too. Now, the ratings were not that high, but we got to also remember that this was still a first season of a new Housewives franchise, so people still have to get warmed up to it. And for this to be the second season, this is some major stuff right here. Now, this harkens to me all the way back to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when that good Taylor Armstrong had that whole situation happen with her ex-husband where he took his own life, and they had to decide whether or not they were going to actually show that season on the air or not. So this is going to be exciting, okay? Now, there's obviously some footage that they may not be able to talk about, some things that they may not be able to really get into legally, but they're still going to be filming all of this. So we're going to see it all go down on Salt Lake City. Now, here's some other tea for you guys. Apparently, she had no prior red flags of fraud when they ran their background check, because y'all know they do a little background checkerization or whatever before they go and gets to hiring anybody, you know, for these shows or whatever. I got a super chat in the building. I think congrats and all the way, love all the way from Toronto. We appreciate you. I think we have another super chat up in here, but I can't see it just now. So they do a background check, you know, before. Yes, EH Bunny, she says that she is innocent. That's the other thing. She says she is innocent. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out, because what we know for sure is if all of these people, Homeland Security, all of these, agencies that got themselves up involved in this situation, it's looking like you're guilty. Okay, it's looking like you're guilty. But if she says she's innocent, we're going to roll with that one for a second, okay? But what I got to say is Bravo does do some extensive background checks into, you know, their people before they put them on the air. Trust me, I know. Okay, so, you know, if nothing had come up in the past, and listen, they only started investigating this whole situation in 2019, okay? And really recently just started making arrests for it. So it's quite obvious that, you know, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew about these alleged scammerizations that were allegedly happening before then. So it's understandable why they didn't find anything, okay? So moving on from that, because it's more. Now, Andy, when asked from Entertainment Tonight, was asked whether or not, you know, to comment on the situation. He didn't really have too much to say other than he hoped it ain't true. Now, of course you hope it ain't true. Of course, that's a PR response. What else would you be saying, especially knowing that you're going to be capturing all of this drama on the television screen for the people to watch and for the ratings to come in? You know what this means? This means advertising dollars. This means ratings boost. This means that this season is going to be amazing, okay? So let me go on, because we got some more news to cover, okay? We're not done yet. We're not done yet with that good Jen Shah, because our friends over at It's On Site then posted where Jen Shah had allegedly actually lived before she rented the chalet that we actually saw on the show, okay? Now, on the show, you guys would have seen, okay, if you watch the show, you would have seen this massive ski chalet, okay? Now, it was apparently worth $3.9 million. It was 9,420 square foot home that she had passed off as her own. Now, previously, I'm going to tell you guys, I questioned this because, and this is no shade to her, but I questioned it because I had heard of a podcast from which Brandy Redmond from Real Housewives of Dallas was on, and she had stated that one of her friends was renting a home to one of the cast members of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, what we also know for sure is that Meredith Marks was also renting her home in that show as well. But Meredith was honest, and she stated that she was renting that home. Now, apparently, the Twitter users have found the original home that she actually sold before she started renting the house on the show. And this home apparently sold last summer for $213,000. Okay. Now, the question that It's On Site is asking, well, how do you think she tricked Bravo into thinking she was much wealthier than she actually was? Because all the reports are calling the home dilapidated. Okay. This is the house that she was formerly living in before she moved into the mansion. And all I got to say is this. Listen, there's a little bit of magic that happens with the people that's come on the television screens. And so, you know, sometimes networks, and I'm not saying this is Bravo, I'm not saying that this is what they did, but sometimes what may happen is, in order to give the lavish lifestyle, if the person is presenting that, then they may just allow the person to present it. If it comes out later, obviously it's going to make for a great storyline, right? Just like it's happening right now. Okay. So we got all of that going on. In the midst of it all, EHC Bunny says, Jen Shah says she is innocent. And yes, she does. She is continuing to maintain her innocence while posting online, okay, posting hair videos and stuff like that online about people saying free Jen Shah, okay? Not only that, let me give you guys one more little statement, okay? So our friends over at Reality Von Tees 2, okay, you guys can check them out on Instagram as well. They got an audio recording of Jen Shah allegedly calling herself the only minority on the show, okay? Now, this is what she had to say. She says, what what did she say? It hurts my feelings because I'm just like, wow, okay, here we go, another one. I've dealt with, I guess she was talking about racism from a lot of the ladies on the show. She says, here goes another one. But yeah, I'm the only minority on the show. Mary Cosby, this is what she says. Mary Cosby doesn't even count because Mary thinks she's white. But they all just came for me, which is fine because I'm going to be myself. And you know what? People like that because I'm real and they know that I'm the only one on the show who has the biggest heart too. Oh, Jen, girl, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You cannot call yourself the only real one on the show when ain't nothing about your lifestyle looking real at the moment, okay? So we're just going to let all that go right now because I'm tired of talking about Jen Shah, and I feel like it's time for us to move on to bigger, bolder, and brighter pastures. So why don't we move on over to that good old Basketball Wives? I know y'all been talking about it. Y'all been tagging me on it all weekend, but I didn't really have a chance to really get down into the details with it because your girl OG, she was a little late this time. I'm gonna tell you, she was a little late, okay, in posting, you know, the real episode that we didn't get to see after the finale, okay? Now, here we, listen. Now, y'all know, thank you, Short Staff, for the super chat. Hey. Now, listen, y'all know, Basketball Wives has ended for the season, okay? Now, you know, normally I wouldn't even continue talking about it, but we're going to go ahead and do so because OG, again, has released the tapes, okay? She's released the tapes from the actual episode, okay? And of course, as we know, the actual audio is way more intriguing than what we saw on the television screen. So we just have to give props to your girl OG for once again coming to us with the real, okay? So let's get into what she had to say, okay? Now, let me tell you this. We're going to break it on down. We're not going to obviously play these recordings because this one is 43 minutes, but you guys can head on over to iHeartOG on Instagram, follow her account, let me like this post real quick because I didn't get a chance to like it. So let me like this post. Y'all like it too. Here's what she had to say. She says, for 3 years, I was called a liar about situations that really did happen to me with witnesses present. Situations that were systematically kept secret from the public to try and make me look crazy. Okay. We got another super chat in the building. Jesus, or is it Jesus? I think it's Jesus. She's a real criminal, allegedly. Thank you for that super chat. We got another one from Rain. Yes, give us the tea. Thank you both for the super chats. If I happen to miss your super chat, it is only because I'm reading the text verbatim right now. Okay. She says, for 3 years, I was called a liar about situations that really did happen to me with witnesses present. Situations that were systematically kept secret from the public to try and make me look crazy. In this scene, I was so happy that someone finally admitted the truth. However, that excitement was short-lived. The next day after their meeting, everyone flipped on me. I have no reason to lie. I was called all of the following names that I know of: gorilla, monkey, Tasmanian devil, Godzilla, and much more. Not okay. I was falsely labeled aggressive, difficult, angry, negative, and much more, which were all blatant lies to defame my character. They all know I am telling the truth, and they have all decided to be wicked cowards and continue to lie on me. Trust me when I say God will take care of each and every one of them. Trust. Now, in this part of the video, she says, during my Nigerian dinner scene, the cast member finally admitted that she did hear the other girls call me a gorilla and other disgusting names 2 years after the fact. Season 8, where I was also segregated from the reunion for nothing. Okay. Now, in this 43-minute video or audio, we do get to hear a conversation between her, Jennifer, and Jackie, I believe, wherein, it is clear that she is trying to, get Jennifer to admit that she did hear the ladies call her, or one of the ladies in general. I believe it might have been Phoebe, but I am not quite sure. But I think it was Phoebe that may have called her either the gorilla or Godzilla, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But apparently these names were called. Jennifer Williams does, in fact, allegedly from the audio, seem to confirm that these names were called to OG. Now, I don't necessarily know. I wish some of this had come out in earlier on, right as last season was ending, or maybe it did. And maybe I just wasn't hearing that Jennifer had, was backing her up about it. But all I know is in this audio, you can clearly hear what sounds like Jen to be saying, yes, she did hear those names being called. Okay. But wait, there's more. There's more. There's more. More than that. Okay. She says 4 days later, I was asked to come back and shoot this last scene. I was not physically at the mansion at all when they shot that fake fun pool scene. So what we have here, guys, is OG basically telling us. So I don't know if you guys listened to my interview with, I believe it was Nia and Naria. They confirmed that OG had ended up leaving the house as well. Okay. Hold on for a second. Miss T, I'm not gonna play all 7 of y'all silly. I'm not gonna play all the recordings because I feel like that's up to you guys to listen to, and I feel like I don't really understand. I mean, she's using them under fair use, so I'm not sure how that works with the network and stuff like that. But I ain't trying to play it here, but y'all can listen to it there. I'm just gonna give you the summary of what she is saying. Anyway, if you go back and listen to my interview with Nia and Naria, they basically affirmed or confirmed that at some point in time in betwixt that the last scene that we saw with OG and the last scene we saw with them, that I guess she had left the house. And she says that too right here. She says 4 days later, I was asked to come back to set and shoot this last scene. Not physically at the mansion at all when they shot the fake fun pool scene. Remember when they was dancing by the pool and they was having all that good time and stuff like that after OG wasn't appearing? I guess she had left, okay? Anyway, she says this: in school, you are taught a lesson and then given a test. In life, you are given a test that teaches you lessons. Choose when to learn. These people know exactly what they did to me and what they said about me both on and off camera. Those people never wanted to resolve any of the issues in this group. They wasted an entire season trying to discredit me, to make me look like an alleged bad person, and tried to get me to lie about situations that really did happen. They all failed miserably and will continue to fail until they receive this lesson that is to be learned. Now, if you listen to this recording, you can actually hear a couple of things. There's an argument that occurs between OG, Jennifer, and Jackie, some of which we saw play out in the scene and some of which we didn't see play out. Now, a part of this was also involved a phone call to what sounded like Kristen Scott, okay? And in that phone call, Jackie is calling Kristen to try to arrange a meeting between Shaunie and OG. Now, this is the same meeting that I had said should have happened a long time ago, okay? If it had happened, we wouldn't be here now, most likely. But at this point in time, I'm assuming it was after, Malaysia and Kristen had both attempted to also have conversations with OG and seemed like they had been somewhat successful, especially after that second time. At that point, Jackie is trying to get Kristen to have Shaunie come to have a meeting with OG. OG is open to it, but when Kristen goes and relays the message back to Jackie, she's gotten that Shaunie is no longer interested in it and she's ready to go. Now, there was some stipulations that was given to OG in order for her to have that conversation. OG was supposed to have said 3 words in order for her to get a conversation with Shaunie. Now, I'm not clear on what those 3 words were, and maybe I need to listen to the recording again. If you know what those 3 words were, let me know, okay? And again, I couldn't hear what they were, but apparently this is what I got from it. It seemed to me as though they were trying to convince OG to say there was colorism didn't exist, or I don't really know, okay? Because every iteration that I think of it is 4 words, but it sounded like they were trying to get her to say that the colorism issue didn't exist, or it was made up, it was fabricated, or something like that. I'm not really sure. And OG was not willing to say those words. Okay, so the conversation never happened. That's why we never got a conversation with Evelyn. I mean, not with OG and with Shaunie. So and that's the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because now we know why it never happened. Okay. So there was that. It's an interesting listen. If you guys want to go back and listen to those two audios, it will give you a little bit of a different perspective on how exactly OG ended up actually leaving the house, because it didn't quite happen the way that we saw it on the screen. Okay. So that is that. Okay. We're going to move on from the OG situation. Let me know exactly what your thoughts are and what you guys think will happen next. Again, I wasn't going to cover this because I feel like, again, it's like 2 weeks later, but because a lot of you guys were tagging me in it, and I always appreciate when you tag me and stuff, because I know that you want me to know what's going on so we can come back and talk about it. I figured I would talk about it today. Okay. So the next situation that we're going to be getting into is LaToya Ali and Adam from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Now, in order for us to really dive into what's going on, it's going to be necessary for me to show you a post from our good friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. And we'll get further into it after we get into a discussion of the headline. Okay. Now, shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. And yes, that's D. You know, we knew that they were estranged and whatnot, but she's accusing him now of basically hacking into her account to make that video public that came out where she was talking about the lips. I don't know if you guys recall where she was calling the girl's lips real big or whatever. I'm going to pull it up for you guys just in case. This is the video I think she's talking about right here. So apparently she had at some point in time made it private. And then apparently what she's saying is that he allegedly made it public so that people would be able to see her exhibiting colorist behavior. Okay. That is what it seems the allegations are. So if you go to her IG page, okay, you will see that she explains that situation right here. Now, before I get into the rest of what's on her IG page, I want to talk about what we see here. She says that Adam is the one that made my story time video of me allegedly being a colorist public after I put my story times on private. He wants to sabotage and destroy everything I have worked for. He hacks my accounts, my phones, my iCloud, and records private conversations to try to hold against me. I'm so happy that I'm free from this abuse. Then she says, Adam hacked into my account and deleted the videos. I will be re-uploading them on my other channel. So the videos that she is talking about, and let me go ahead and pull this up, because in order for us to really have a discussion about it accurately, we're going to have to go over once again to our friends over at It's On Site. Now, in this, well, I'm not going to actually pull that video up because of a word that's on it. This is basically what she says in those videos. Now, these videos are recent. I think it was either last night that she put this up or she put it up today. But you guys can go over to her channel, the LaToya Ali and Vaughn channel on YouTube, and you can hear her talking about how they had a very abusive relationship, allegedly, and how she cheated on him. And when he found out, she ended up getting yoked up by him, and she had to run and call some neighbors for help. That is what she basically said in the video. Now, when we get off the live, I will place that video in the comment section, in the description, so you guys can actually watch it. This whole situation seems it's a lot. Now, to take things a step further, if you guys want to hear Adam's response, before I went live, I noticed that he had done an interview with Tasha K. So what I'll also do is I will place that video in the description link as well. I have not had a chance to watch that video. I would have watched it beforehand, but I wanted to basically have a chance to come on here live with you guys and at least give you the scoop. And I only saw it when I was preparing and searching his name to see if there was anything extra that he had said about the situation, because it's nice to give both sides to the story, because there's always three sides to every story. There's one side, another side, and then there's the truth, usually somewhere mixed up in there. What I will say about this is, Dasha Painter Server Mom says it's good at DJ Richie Skye. Okay, so we'll head on over to Tasha's page and support when we get off the live here, and we'll watch. And if there's anything that we need to comment on further, we'll do it in another video tomorrow. So make sure you guys support her after we get through the news, y'all. Okay. So there's that. What I'm going to end on this situation with is that the two of them seem to be in a very toxic place in their relationship, whatever it may be, and for whatever reason. Now, if you go to her IG stories, I'm not going to put them in this video. She basically releases some what are either alleged DMs or text messages where it seems like he is trying to attempt to maybe ruin her chances of being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, or he's allegedly threatening to do so. But to me, I can't tell if these are real or not. So I'm just gonna let you guys be the judge of that for yourself. If you go over to her IG page. Now, Robin Thame says, watch the Adam interview on the Tasha K, or watch Adam on the Tasha K video. Very nice dude. So that's why, again, it's nice to give both sides to every story. I guess the question is, who do you believe in this situation? Because I just kind of feel like, coinky dink that, the information is coming out at the same time. So was she trying to do damage control because she knew that he was going to have this conversation with Tasha K and that was going to be huge? What's really going on in this scenario? And I see a lot of you guys saying that you thank you for the super chat. My wife and I love your work. DJ Richie Skye, glad we finally caught you live. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you for that super chat. So T Times, thank you so much for this comment. Says Adam explains the Real Housewives of Atlanta situation in the Tasha K interview. So yes, we will dive into that when we're done here, okay? Because I want to know for myself, because I'm confused by the whole situation. All I do know is that it seems like a toxic situation, and I feel like she puts a lot of their private business on blast. And that's just how it comes across from what we see of her on the show. And it's sad to me that it's getting to this point because they have young kids. And while I do think that, again, we like, and I think I speak for a lot of us who talk about this every day, we like a little bit of drama. But what we don't like is when it gets to this place where it becomes so toxic that things that should be left in private now start to become public. And then the two have to basically, go on to defend their character in such a way. It's like, this is more than the petty drama that we like to see on our Housewives shows. So I just kind of hope that they get this whole situation sorted out. And also, this probably lends itself to why she's not necessarily a peach holder on the show, because this seems a little bit over the top. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to find out what's going on. But she does admit to cheating on him. I will say that. Thank you, Leanne, for the super chat. Richie, congratulations on your marriage. Thank you so much. So yeah, we're gonna watch that and see what's going on. Catherine says LaToya is working overtime for someone who's just a friend to the show. Bloop. All right. So now we got to talk about something. we got to talk about this. And sometimes when I'm doing a story, I will purposely go to some of my favorite people's Instagram accounts because I want you guys to follow these people too, right? So you'll know what's going on and you'll be able to, get all of the tea for yourselves whenever you want to. And we can also then come back here and talk about it, but we can celebrate and follow each of these other accounts as we talk about these things, because everybody puts in a lot of work in the blogging and media community. And I like to support people, right? So again, we follow our friends over at Housewives of ATL. And we learn, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I know a lot of you guys have, but I don't know if you guys watch Netflix's Family Reunion. Is anyone watching that show? Comment in the chat. Let me know if you're watching Family Reunion on Netflix. So Kenya Moore is, I don't know if she makes like more of a cameo appearance or if she's going to be like a regular. I don't know what the situation is. I have not seen this show, to be quite honest with you. But what I do know is that either the writers of the show came up with some interesting shade towards Nene Leakes, or it was a freestyle from Kenya Moore. But I feel like this is something more that I don't know who it came from. But, obviously mentioning something that goes on in the world of Housewives gets people, ratings and views and stuff like that. Because I don't know if you guys saw This Is Us, the episode with This Is Us, where the guy says, don't be a Monique. And they're playing a scene with, Monique in the house with Karen and Wendy and Giselle and Robin and Ashley. And they're having that Ponderosa and Wendy speaking. And then you see Monique talking and explaining herself. And then the guy in the frame is talking to the baby and he says, don't be a Monique. So now we have another Housewives reference on another show, but this time the housewife is in the show. And essentially, the little girl in the episode is saying something about how she, wants a giraffe or something like that. I would go to the next slide, but it actually shows the scene in it. And I just don't want to, put that material on the YouTube. But so she ends up saying that, Kenya Moore ends up responding and says something to the effect of she'll see if Nene is available, basically calling her a giraffe. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Now, I have seen a lot of people state, well, Nene called Kenya Moore a buffalo when she was pregnant. This is true. Okay. That is true too. But that is also within the context of the same show that they're on, right? And I guess the distinction is this. Technically Kenya Moore wasn't really on that season of Real Housewives, so it can technically be the same thing because Nene's not on that show either. And she hasn't been on Housewives in a minute. I guess my question about this whole situation is, should Kenya Moore or should the writers or should the people have been more sensitive to Nene because of everything that she has seemingly gone through with the network? Or is this a situation where turnabout is fair play? Which is it? Because I've seen people argue both sides of the fence, right? I'm trying to look at. Oh, did she say she's having a buffalo, or did she call did she call Kenya a buffalo? Sasha says it's fun shade. It's not that serious. Denise says it's fair play. I am Annalise says, yes, I believe they should have been more sensitive. Nene shouldn't be discussed on a platform she's not a part of. Sinclair hits the nail on the head and says, want people to watch. Ooh, let me tell you something. Leslie Ann music. Y'all know when we end our lives, I do sometimes I try to, end it on like a positive note or give us a word, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Leslie Ann music gave us a word. She says, all arguments are valid. That's why you treat people how you want to be treated. Amen. Yvonne, this is what I thought as well. This is a scripted show. If Kenya said that about Nene, it was written for her to say. Tyrell says, oh, thank you. Hey. I saw a comment. Tyrell says Nene's name gets people to watch. Her name brings viewers. Maisha says, yes, she's having a buffalo. Okay. It's too much. Mention Nene and get ratings. That's the game. I'm going to say this, though. Oh, wait. Somebody made a good comment. Worthy View says the preview for the Netflix show also shows the little girl saying wrong road, like Porsha too. So maybe the writers are from NBC Universal, like This Is Us. That's why I also brought up the This Is Us. D Not Nice says family reunion is good. Here's my thing. Listen, I guess maybe it could be turned about as fair play. But what I will say is, I like this comment. Oh, wait. Come and Talk With Me says, she said, what is she having? A buffalo? But I think she was thinking light shade. I'm gonna leave it here. And I can't tell someone how to feel about, because people being called animals, we just got through talking about OG being called a gorilla, Godzilla, and all kinds of names like that. Maybe we need to take a different tact when calling, women animals, right? Or calling each other animals. I don't know. Maybe I think that's become more of a hot button for people. So maybe we just need to stray away from that at this point. It is interesting that they chose to reference Nene in this situation, because whether or not it was off the cuff or it was scripted, it was definitely something that the writers, the producers, the team at Netflix, or anybody involved with the show let it go through, probably because they knew that it would create a moment. And just like they knew that it would create a moment, it did create a moment. We're all talking about this show on, on the blogs and media outlets. It's making the rounds. So here we are yet again. Kenya Moore's name is in the spotlight. Nene Leakes' name is in the spotlight. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I would not mind having Nene Leakes back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I want Nene Leakes from seasons, 3 through 6 and 7, because I felt like she was having more fun on the show. I think in the later seasons, I think that maybe she had just gotten a little bit tired of the drama, and I think that's natural, because I think that happens over time. Tammy Roman is a good example of that. Someone who has been on the show for such a long time, has gone through the ups and downs of the drama, and then at a certain point you just get over it. So I would like to see her back on the show, because I think she is needed, to be quite honest with you. But that's just me. Her name makes headlines. Her and Kenya Moore make headlines together. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, again, she's kind of missing on the show for me. But that's just me. But, given the relationship between her and Bravo at this point, I don't see that happening. Okay? that's the news for today, guys. Listen, initially, I was only going to talk about the, Kenya Moore and the Jen Shah and the OG story, but the Adam and LaToya story was breaking, and I can see, it was a lot of stuff going on with this. So I just want to go ahead and get it out there. And now, if you guys are, still have some time, let's head on over to Tasha K's channel, watch that video with Adam and hear what he has to say about the situation. And then you guys come to your own conclusions about what you feel about it. Who's right or wrong in this situation? Or is there a right and wrong? Or is there just two sides to the story and then the truth? Who knows? What I will say is this. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Glad to be back at home. Glad to be back in front of this good camera with y'all and having these discussions. And y'all know we will be right back here tomorrow with more entertainment news and all that good stuff. I want y'all to have an amazing day, and continue to tag me in anything that you guys think may be relevant that you want us to talk about. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.